Hey, and welcome. This is a Focus Tech and L&D briefing, and it's really for you, the L&D manager, trying to navigate, well, all the change right now.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It really is. And AI, it's definitely top of mind. It's reshaping how we think about developing talent, assessing skills, everything.
Absolutely.
So today, we want to zoom in on something foundational, a key AI capability that's, I think, increasingly relevant for L&D professionals.
Right. We're talking about self-supervised learning.
Exactly. Self-supervised learning. Maybe we should break that down a bit.
Yeah, let's do that. So think of it like AI teaching itself by finding patterns. It's different from needing humans to label everything.
Okay, so no need for someone saying, this is X, this is Y, for thousands of examples.
Precisely. Instead, the AI learns by, say, predicting the next word in a sentence it sees, or maybe filling in a missing bit of an image.
Okay.
It uses the data itself as the supervision signal, you could say. It learns structure, context, all without explicit labels.
So it's figuring out the rules, the patterns, just by looking at the data, without a cheat sheet.
You got it. It learns autonomously from massive amounts of data, and critically unlabeled data, which is everywhere.
Right, that makes sense.
And this capability, well, it's fundamentally what powers many of those big AI models you hear about. Things like GPT, BERT, CLIP.
Ah, okay, so that's the connection. That's really helpful. But why is this type of learning so, impactful compared to older ways?
Well, mostly it comes down to scale and, frankly, cost. Getting humans to label data, it's expensive. It takes a huge amount of time and effort. Self-supervised learning kind of sidesteps that bottleneck.
Right, because it uses data that's already out there, unlabeled.
Exactly. You can train incredibly powerful models on these vast data sets without that manual labeling step. The AI builds its own sophisticated understanding of patterns.
And that understanding is key, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially for real-world data like what we have in, our learning systems.
Absolutely key. Which brings us to how this translates into the work you do in learning and development. What problems can this pattern-finding ability help solve there?
Yeah, let's connect those dots.
Okay, so if you think about the L&D landscape, the potential is pretty powerful. Imagine using this approach, but training the AI not just on the whole internet, but specifically on your organization's internal knowledge.
You mean like all our documents, training materials, wikis, everything?
Yeah, exactly. Because the AI learns the patterns and structure without needing manual tags on all those docs, it can get a really deep understanding of your specific corporate language, your internal knowledge.
Much faster and probably more thoroughly than trying to tag it all manually.
Definitely.
Wow, okay. That could be huge for building smarter internal knowledge bases, or maybe even automating some content curation based on what your own experts have produced.
Absolutely. And it goes further. This ability to detect patterns, it isn't just for text. It can extend to understanding behavior.
Learner behavior.
Exactly. Think about analyzing all that learner interaction data, the clicks, the paths they take through modules, time spent, sequences, all that stuff. SSL can identify underlying patterns in how people are learning or maybe where they're struggling without needing that data pre-labeled as good or bad. It just observes the patterns.
Okay, wait, so instead of just looking at quiz scores, you could potentially model how skills are actually developing by just watching how learners interact with things over time.
Precisely. You're learning from the journey, like you said, not just the final test result.
That feels like a pretty fundamental shift.
It is. You derive insights directly from the activity data. And this opens doors for richer experiences, too.
Like what?
Well, by learning patterns from past examples, maybe successful learning paths, the AI could generate more realistic training simulations.
Oh, I see.
Or it could identify potential knowledge gaps more dynamically. Maybe predict what a learner should engage with next based on patterns it sees in effective learning, rather than just pointing out what they got wrong on a quiz.
So moving from static assessment to something more dynamic, more insightful, based purely on observed patterns.
It's right. That's why self-supervised learning is so foundational for building smart, scalable AI in L&D. It thrives on finding structure in the kind of, well, sometimes messy, unlabeled, complex data our learning systems generate naturally.
It makes the AI much more adaptable then to our specific context, our learners.
Exactly right.
Okay, let me try and sum this up for you, our listener. Self-supervised learning. It's this core AI method where the AI learns by finding patterns in data itself, no human labels needed up front. And we've seen how this basic idea can power some really valuable applications for you in L&D. understanding your unique corporate knowledge.
Getting deep insights into learner behavior and skills just from interaction data.
Right, generating simulations, assessing knowledge more dynamically. It really feels like the foundation for making AI truly scalable and intelligent in our field.
It's definitely a core technology, worth getting a handle on as you evaluate AI tools.
For sure. And as you think about using these kinds of AI capabilities, here's maybe a question to chew on.
Okay.
Given that this learning is often most powerful when it's trained on data specific to a context like your organization, how do you decide when does it make strategic sense to actually build or apply AI models trained specifically on your unique internal data versus, say, relying on more general AI platforms trained out there on the wider web?
That's a really good question. The build versus buy, or maybe adapt decision.
Exactly. Something to consider as you shape your L&D tech strategy moving forward.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah.